This is Davion Mitchell, my most requested breakdown over the last few years. And I get it. I've been showing his clips to my teams since he was in college. Now it's time to finally break him down on this channel. And the timing couldn't be better. A full one-on-one workout between Mitchell and Amen Thompson just dropped, giving us rare footage and even rarer angles to study his defense in detail. There's a reason they call him Off Night. Let's dive into it.
Oh man, what a defensive play. Tremendous defense. Wow.
Davion Mitchell defends using a mixture of stances, sometimes in an upward stance with minimal knee bend, sometimes in a classic and loaded stance, but always with one goal, to cut off the drive with his chest. He's not just sliding to contain, he's jamming the ball handler, physically stopping the first few dribbles. There are times, of course, when he'll shift his stance into a forward stance to apply more ball pressure, but the foundation of his defense stays the same. Beat you to the spot, take away your space, and win the physical battle early. But to pull that off, he needs elite movement skills, the kind of footwork that lets him absorb contact, stay in front square, and still be able to recover. That's what makes Mitchell truly special, and in his one-on-one workout with Amen Thompson, we get a rare close-up look at exactly how he does it. The first thing you should notice is he never drops his hips. He's constantly resetting into a square stance, ready to move in either direction. Most defenders swivel their hips back and forth, exposing one top foot for another. That might feel quick, but it leaves you vulnerable to blow-bys. Davion, however, doesn't play that game. Instead, watch how he keeps his feet square, active, and constantly adjusting, coming into pressure, then retreating into space, but always loaded. Even when he steps back, he's on his forefoot, never on his heels, because if his weight shifts to his heels, he'll lose his explosiveness. And when defenders reach back or try and stop with their heels, they're dead in the water. The best, like Mitchell, stay on the balls of their feet in every moment. And when he's sliding, he's not passively reaching. He's pushing off that trail leg, exploding laterally, not reaching or lunging with that reach foot. No, exploding from the inside angle. This is a key movement pattern of elite defenders. And it's exactly what we train inside the Lockdown Academy, an online platform dedicated solely to developing elite defenders. With over 100 minutes of lessons, breakdowns, and workouts, it's everything you need to become a lockdown defender. Enroll today with the link below. Now back to the breakdown, because what Mitchell does next, it's a footwork skill I rarely see. When he gets faked out, moving in the wrong direction, he doesn't panic. He anchors his lead foot and execute a reverse karaoke type movement. It's a quick foot replacement. Just watch how quickly the left foot replaces the right foot in real time. This allows him to bring that back leg under his center of gravity and slide into even greater distances. And of course, he's always trying to reassert his contact or cut off an angle. This isn't just a crossover step. This is what we call a two-touch slide, replacing the feet to generate more force than a traditional slide. Outside of Matisse Thybulle, there really isn't another defender in the league who uses it as often or as effectively as Mitchell. But let's take a closer look at these clips, because the angle in this workout gives us a rare insight, and we can finally see what Mitchell is looking at when he's guarding the ball. In this play, even before the pass arrives, his eyes are locked on Thompson's chest. And as the move begins, Davion's eyes shift to the hips. And when that ball comes back for a hang dribble, his eyes follow to the upper arm or shoulder. But across all these clips, one thing is clear: he's not watching the ball. Go ahead and watch the full workout and try and find a moment he's looking at the ball. Instead, he's always watching the body, because at the end of the day, he's not really trying to get steals. He's trying to win the first dribble, and the ball, that's often a distraction. On the other hand, the hips and the chest, well, those rarely lie. And remember, when he beats a player to a spot, he's not just doing it to contain, he's stopping them with his chest. It's what I call a chest slide, cutting off the drive physically and doing it while showing your hands to the refs. Now, these chest slides are harder than they look. Some defenders make the mistake of using the chest slide on the inside shoulder of the offensive ball handler, which lets the ball handler actually ride the contact and turn the corner. But Davion doesn't do that. He gets chest to chest, sealing off that spot, that driving lane, and killing the drive. And if he does get beat or he does get opened up, he doesn't slide with the offense. He slides into the offense. He slides into the attack. Watch this play. He's slightly behind and even opened up, but instead of recovering at an angle, he hops forward into the dribbler to jam the ball. Much like Drew Holiday, who protects his top foot by sliding into contact, Mitchell is constantly trying to jam the offense with aggressive footwork, bringing back flashbacks of Lou Dort guarding James Harden. But this is all just the start, because Mitchell doesn't just play physical, he plays smart. As soon as ball handlers start to adjust to his contact, well, he'll take it away. You'll see him pull the chair out more than any other defender, leaving drivers off balance and exposing the ball. He wants you to lean in, then he makes you pay for it. Sometimes he'll avoid the contact altogether. Watch Josh Giddey here, in desperate search for contact, but Davion never gives it to him. Other times, however, Mitchell baits the contact, meeting your first or even second attack with pressure, then vanishing just when you get ready to commit to it. This is where turnovers happen against him, not from reaching or gambling, but from pure defense. Sometimes it's a travel or crazy pass, other times it's a swipe steal where he can come away with the ball. And these tools, well, they're deadly on their own, but when you pair them with a physical defender who's willing to give contact, but even take charges too, well, that creates a constant state of uncertainty for any offensive player. It's the chess match of elite defense. And talking about chess, I want to go back a few moves, back to the early contact that Mitchell so often seeks out, because there are two advanced concepts here we haven't touched just yet. First, sometimes that early jam isn't about stopping the drive, it's about creating space. As odd as that sounds, watch how Mitchell uses his body to bump the ball handler, then pushes off slightly to create separation and put him back in front. This allows him to use that one touch refs usually give you with contact to contain the first move while resetting for the next one. A great concept for pressure defenders. And the second concept is what happens when he does get countered and the ball handler goes to a step back. Because square stance defenders do risk that space a step back can create. But this is where Mitchell's recovery footwork takes over. Look at his back foot here. It's flat to the floor, fully loaded and perpendicular to his momentum, able to absorb that lateral force and transfer it into a forward contest. It's almost martial arts like. We see it in jiu-jitsu, fencing, and even wrestling. That ability to strike forward with force from a loaded position, well, that's everything in those sports. And Davion applies that same principle to recovery from his squared stance to have high-level contests, making Davion Mitchell one of the hardest defenders to go against, and making it clear why his nickname is Off Night. Now, before we wrap up, there are two key areas we didn't dive into today, but you can watch a full breakdown on both of them right here on this channel. First, Mitchell's ability to block shots, even as a smaller defender. He gets chase down blocks by aiming for the release point, attacking the outside shoulder, a technique we broke down in our chase down block video, and one we'll be expanding on in a future video coming soon. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Second, we haven't touched on Mitchell's elite ball screen navigation, one of the most underrated traits in on-ball defense. Because if you can't get through a screen, your pressure gets neutralized by virtually any offense. And Mitchell, well, he erases screens using the exact techniques we broke down in our ball screen defense video. engaging the ball, shrinking space, pivoting over, and riding that driving angle wide with his upper arm. So if you want to learn more, tap on either of the videos on the screen to go even deeper. But overall, I hope we've made it clear why they call him Off Night, because when you study the details, you start to understand why so many scorers have their worst games against him. Davion Mitchell is clearly one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. As always, I'm Coach Mike with Lockdown Defense. Thanks for watching and keep up the hard work.